My brothers and sisters, this message is for missionaries, my fellow missionaries. There is an observation in the life of so many Christians, especially couples, because it's almost 2 decades since I came to the United States, and I have been observing some certain things that looks like a culture in the life of married couples, especially Christians. Because if the Christians will understand this message, then we can use it to evangelize our neighbors who are not Christians. There is a culture here that anytime a woman is about to deliver her baby, they feel that it is proper for the man, they call it the baby daddy, for the man to be in the labor room. That thing has a psychological effect on the man, on his sexuality towards his wife. I don't want to believe that this has helped to break so many relationships and marriages, but it could be. It's researchable, because it's a question of taking a survey among men and women who are married, who are going through this experience. Where I come from Africa, it is not so. God has blessed us with 3 kids, but I was not in the labor room. From the few people that I've been able to discuss with, it is like they want the man to appreciate what the woman is going through. Yeah, we do appreciate. But it has a side effect. It causes what we can call psychological impotency. Psychological impotency. Go to the Bible. When Isaac was delivered, he was in his tent. The midwives attended to Sarah. The same practice in Africa till today, except when these hospitals came, then it is now a medical issue. But before the advent of all these things, like my home church, we don't believe in medical science, so we don't go to the hospital. I don't have a medical record. My mother delivered all of us in our father's bedroom. It was the Christian mothers whom God has given the gift of midwifery. They come to midwife any Christian mother who is about to deliver her baby. It was practiced even in Egypt when the children of Israel were there too, because you can see that Egyptians had professional midwives who come to deliver babies. At one of those occasions, Pharaoh told them that if it is a Jewish woman or a Hebrew woman, if the baby is a boy, kill that baby. But the Egyptian women or the Egyptian midwives went back to Pharaoh and gave Pharaoh a totally surprising testimony that if we now, with all our professions and our training, if we go to midwife these women, if we gaze that they are going to deliver in 4 hours, before we go for lunch and come back, they have already delivered. And if it's a baby boy, they will hide the baby. The ones that they leave there are only the girls, because that's the only ones that were to be saved. That was how Moses was born. Before the midwives could come, the mother of Moses has delivered her baby and hid the baby away. So what am I saying? It is the nature of woman. God created them in that way. It's part of their nature to be pregnant, to go through labor, and then to deliver babies. It's their nature. And that is why any woman that has not experienced it, it is a big burden for them. They crave for it. They cry for it, just like Hannah in the Bible. Hannah has not experienced pregnancy. She has not experienced childbirth. But it was a torment to her soul, just like it is a torment to so many women that have never had the experience of, fruit of the womb. Now, what do you want men to appreciate? Will we appreciate our wives only during the child labor because you want us to see something? That thing have a psychological effect on the man. The man so much loves his wife that he will say in his heart, I don't want my wife to go through this again. And when the man starts to avoid anything sexual relationship, the woman will now feel that, it's like he's having someone somewhere. He doesn't love me anymore. The man will say, look, I love you with my life. I love you to death. The man means it. But because of the psychological torture of his observation in the labor room has caused him not to let this woman go through that again. He tried to avoid and talk you out of anything sexual. The man doesn't even want you to have the second baby. That is why so many couples settle down with only one baby, two babies, and they are okay with it. I'm talking of 90%. It's not just a general, I'm not generalizing, but 90% of the cases are like that. The man will swear, I love you. I mean, the man will be so protective, so caring, but there is something missing somewhere. The sight in the delivery room has given him a psychological impotency towards the woman. He so loved this woman that he doesn't want her to go through that again. But as soon as the man comes in contact with another person that he has not observed go through that, another woman, you now see as if his sexual, thing is reflecting on that side, and the woman, the real wife, will become jealous and start to accuse him of, looking at somebody else or having passion for somebody else, or his sexuality will be, arousing towards another woman. But it was in the labor room that this damage was done, in the psychological heart of this man. Let us try something new. Because all these nurses, professional nurses, they are all trained in midwifery. So that man should not be there. That man should not. If you want that sexual relationship between the man and the wife to continue to blossom, to be renewed every day, that man should not see that sight in the labor room. Because to him, apart from appreciating the woman, he also feels guilty. Is that what I made this woman to go through? No. I don't love this woman if I want her to go through this again. When actually this is the nature of the woman. That's her nature. That's a woman for you. She must have children. She must be pregnant, and she must go through labor pains, and she must bear, deliver children. In some cultures, like in Africa where I come from, where those things are not practiced, you see men loving their wives to death. Anytime they beset their eyes on their wife, it is as if the honeymoon has just started. But any man that goes through the labor room on the day of delivery and see these things, watch, compare and contrast. I might not be right, but it is researchable. I'm talking to missionaries. This message is not for everybody. Take your time and take a survey of some men without their wives there. Let us see if we are making sense. This message is titled Psychological Impotency. This is man-made. it could be part of why divorces, because as soon as a woman begins to suspect that her husband doesn't have that sexual attraction anymore, and that he is more attracted to someone else, you see them filing for divorce. The love is no more there. The man will come and say, oh, I care for you. Say, no, you are pretending. Because the woman wants you to express this thing through our sexuality. Our sexual relationship is what she wants. She needs that attention. She wants to make sure that she's the only one in your heart. But unfortunately, you are trying to protect her as a man, to say, no, I don't want you to go through this. I don't want to see what I saw last time. You see the problem? Let us be sincere to ourselves. Let's share, because I might be wrong, but let's talk. This will not only reduce the rate of suspicion, it will also reduce the rate of divorce, especially among Christians. Because here I saw it as if it is a culture of the West, that a man must be there when the woman is in the labor room to welcome their baby and then to appreciate what the woman is going through. It's part of her nature. The nature of a woman is to be pregnant and to carry pregnancy up to the appointed time, and then you deliver the baby. Even single women that do not have that are not married, maybe they become pregnant, or the ones that are that were raped, that they don't even know who is responsible, they still deliver their babies without the man being there. But if this very practice is causing these problems that I suspect, let us take a second look at this practice. Because there are so many young couples that I know that are coming up. Maybe after the first baby, you see them now, they stop. And they begin what they call a kind of, damage control. The man might not tell you exactly how, but the man is still in love. But he doesn't want you to go through that again. He doesn't want to see it again. And those things will continue to play around. Before you know it, it is like the woman will begin to feel something else. And she might be seeing herself being attracted, she might be getting another attention from another man who have not seen her go through that labor thing. And the husband might be having a kind of attention towards another woman he has not seen go through that. So please, let us give it a new trial. Maybe a trial will convince us on this issue. Please. The men should stay away from the labor room. Welcome the baby after the midwives have done every of the other thing, and then clean your wife and the baby up. You now receive them as if they are just from the cloud. But the sight of baby delivery and all that, I think it is having some psychological effect on the men. And it is bringing suspicion in relationships, diverting our sexuality towards a different direction, and breaking homes. How many generations will be affected? Because we might talk our daughters and our sons into it, and they will suffer the same thing. This vicious cycle must stop somewhere, especially among the Christians. Please. That is my personal view. Thank you for listening. We'll talk.